Every time Hilary sat down to write music, the same thought showed up. You're not good enough. Nobody wants to hear this. You're not the kind of person who can do this. It happened so often, she almost forgot to notice it anymore. It just felt normal. Until her husband said one sentence that changed how she saw it completely. He didn't tell her the thoughts were wrong. He told her what they meant. Today, Hilary is back to finish our conversation, and this might be the most important thing she says in the whole series. Welcome to Create Your Best Empty Nest. If you've missed part 1, go back and listen first, or you can listen later. It's so great. We talked about how Hilary balanced 14 albums and 4 daughters, and what she'd say to a woman she feels like who has disappeared into her kids to be a good mom. Today, we finish the conversation. We start light, her favorite word, the sound she can't stand, the story behind her 4 kids calling her Mubba, and then we go straight into the deep end. What she does with that voice that tells her when she's not good enough and what that voice actually is. It's super enlightening. Here's what's coming in this part. What Hilary says the adversary whispers every time she sits down to create something meaningful. And the one sentence her husband says that changed how she hears it. How she's kept her faith and her music working together instead of against each other. The habit she fought for that's still keeping her marriage strong. And what's still ahead for her. And the book she wrote to help you find your own purpose in this next chapter that works perfectly with the program that I've created, the Next Chapter Roadmap. And her final words to every woman listening, wherever you are right now. We now have Hilary Weeks back with us for part 2 of how to stop living through your kids and start living your own life. And if you haven't listened to part 1, it was really fun to hear about her, how she balanced her music career and being a mother and finding the joy and the inspiration. And so it's great, but we're so happy to have you back. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, very good. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started, help listeners just fall in love with you like all the rest of us have. And if you didn't listen to part 1 about her motto or her words of wisdom, you're going to want to go back because that was really inspiring. Okay, tell us, what is your favorite word and your least favorite word?
The first word that popped into my head of favorite words is Tim.
I love it. Of
My
course.
husband. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet. That's
He
sweet.
is just absolutely my best friend. We've been married for 34 years and we're still completely obsessed with each other and addicted to each other. And we just love to be together. I would do anything with him. Anything with him is good. It could be yard work, it could be something that's fun. I don't care. As long as I'm with him, I'm happy. I love it.
Oh, man, that's amazing. I love that you have that. Tell us maybe a secret to that. What's kept that so strong for 34 years? You might hear newlyweds or engaged people or dating people say that, but for 34 years, tell us your secret.
I think that it's important for people to know that, and I kind of wish I had known this when we were first married, and it was hard that first year.
Yeah.
And I was like, what in the world is going on with my emotions and everything? And I taught my girls and wanted my girls to know it is normal to have disagreements. It is normal to have to work through things. And I wish I would have known that or had somebody to talk to about that
Yeah.
early on. And that's why I'm just glad to be able to at least share that with my girls. It's like, it doesn't mean we don't love each other. We have to work through those things. I think it's why God puts us together, is so you can learn to work through those types of things. But one of the things that was really helpful, we reached a point in our marriage. This was, Callie had just been born. We'd probably been married around 7 or 8 years, and we were at a low. Life had taken it out of us. Tim was so busy. I never got to spend time with him. I was desperate for that adult interaction
Yeah.
because I had 2 littles and I didn't want to talk to another child at the end of the day. So we just hit a low. And finally, I was like, I'm calling a therapist. I need some help. I need help from a counselor. And he was like, okay, go ahead. Have fun doing that. He wasn't super willing to get on board. And it was a counselor that I talked to long distance. We lived in Colorado at the time, and the therapist lived in Utah. So we got on the phone and we met 3 times over the phone. By the 4th time, Tim was actually willing to get on the call. And that was our last call. So 4 calls, but here is the best piece of advice that came out of those phone calls. It was 4 minutes. She told us, when you wake up in the morning and when Tim gets home from work at night, right then spend 4 minutes together. And that can look like whatever you want. You can just sit up in bed together and just cuddle. You can talk. You can hold hands. And same thing, when he gets home from work, just have the kids be in another room. You guys sit together on the couch. You can talk about whatever you want. 4 minutes. It was a game changer. And now, if I walk into his office and I say, "Hey, can we spend 4 minutes together?" He automatically knows I am not feeling connected with you and I need some time with you. And so we drop, either one of us, we drop what we're doing. We spend 4 minutes, we reconnect. It's just such an easy tool and it's such a good one. It was
Yeah.
a game changer for us.
I love that. And it's so doable. And in our last episode, you talked about how you would take 30 minutes every day to work on your music career. That's so doable. That's so chunked. That's so I can do that. And then 4 minutes is the same thing. I love that. All
Yeah.
doable, but that consistent effort makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thanks for sharing that. I think a lot of us will be able to really benefit from that. Okay, now tell us your least favorite word.
Deserve.
Deserve.
I don't like the word deserve. I don't like the context of, "Oh, you deserve that." Or you,
Mm.
I just, it kind of, I don't know. I just don't feel like, uh, I don't know. It just doesn't fit for me. It just rubs wrong because I'm not sure any of us, I don't, in one way, like either positive or negative. I just, you deserve a vacation or you deserve to be, to have something bad happen. I don't like it, the word either way.
I can see what you're thinking there. Okay, very good. Tell us your favorite sound and your least favorite sound.
This was a good one too. Favorite sound, wind blowing through aspen trees. I
Mm.
love the sound of the leaves clicking together.
It's like a natural wind chime, huh?
It is.
And we
Yeah.
have some aspen trees, and I do love that too.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your
No.
least favorite sound?
Someone chewing ice.
That is pretty intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man. Did you crave ice when you were pregnant? I know a lot of women
Oh,
do.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I'm curious. I want to know both of those from you, Marianne, your favorite and least favorite sound. I'm just so curious.
Oh man. Let's think. I don't know. I do really like the sound of children's laughter. It
Yeah.
just brings so much happiness and just I almost like the natural way of how God created us. But as adults, we get so serious and just kids just laughing. And but it's like, oh, yeah, that's what life's about.
Good one.
Maybe the least favorite sound is, let me think, maybe yelling,
Yeah.
people yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are two polar opposites, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. That's good. Okay. Has anyone ever told you you look like someone famous and who was it?
No. Quick answer. No, I've never been told I look like anybody famous.
No. You're like, I already am famous. I look at myself.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't think about that, but I have had people say, in fact, this just happened. We were on a road trip and we were in Twin Falls, Idaho, and we went into an antique store. And we had talked to this lady, the owner of the store, for a while. And then she goes, "You remind me of this lady who sings." And yeah, she was trying to think of me, myself.
You're
So
like,
that
well,
was
but
the,
I'm being myself.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. And I love how you just keep giggling and laughing because that's just you. All right. What's something that really got your attention right now? Like a book, a show, a conversation that you just keep thinking about?
I have been reading, I'm almost done with a book called Relaxed, and it's by a woman named Megan Fate Marshman.
Mm.
And one of my main takeaways is she's a Christian minister, preacher, and it's just a beautifully written book. But I love that she teaches us to go to God and tell him everything. Don't hold back. And I'm definitely at times a holder backer. And I've gotten better at just telling him exactly what I'm feeling and not trying to solve it by myself. Let him step in and not only help solve it, but show me his grace and his power while he's doing it. It's been a game changer. I bought 10 copies and giving them away to my kids and my mom, my sister, because it's that good. The book is that good.
I love the title because once you do that, you can be relaxed.
Yeah. I think the tagline is something like, because Jesus isn't worried about anything. That's the concept of the tagline. Relaxed because give it to the one who's not worried about anything.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very inspiring. Okay, if you had $1 million to give to any cause, where does it go and why that one?
I'm sure there's a lot of really good causes, and I would probably say, "Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Oh, yeah, I'd give it to them. Oh, yeah," like all of them. But the thing that came to my mind is I think I would divide it up. And I would go around to schools and I would hand out $100 to the teacher, each teacher. I think more people would be teachers if they were paid more and if
Hmm.
it was a career where they could provide more. Thank goodness there are still teachers who are willing to offer their talents and their skills, even though it's not a super lucrative career. Because think about that. Our children, our future, that's who they're spending their day with all day long. If everybody who wanted to teach and money wasn't an issue, I think there'd be a lot of people who would want to offer that skill set. So I'd just walk into schools and take that $1 million and hand out 100 to each teacher. I could get to 10,000 teachers if I did that.
My daughter's a teacher, and I'm sure she would really appreciate that 100.
Yeah, my one of my daughters is a
And
teacher
I bet
too.
she would spend it on classroom supplies.
I know. That's exactly right.
Okay, you mentioned this, that Mubba is your name that you have for your 5 grandkids, which is so fun. I actually had a guest on here, part of this series, and she's trying to make 1 million people smile by finding out their grandma name, their grandparent name. And so for yours, Mubba is so fun for your 5 grandkids. Tell us first how that you count that name, and has grandmotherhood changed how you think about the next chapter?
Oh, that's a fun question. I was trying to think of what my grandma name would be when our first grandchild came along. And I couldn't come up with anything. I'm definitely somebody who likes to walk a little bit off the beaten path and do things that are a little bit different and out of the ordinary. So I didn't want the same grandma name as other people had. And nothing was really connecting with me. And then it occurred to me, my oldest son-in-law, I call him Bubba sometimes, just like as a nickname.
Yeah,
"Hey, Bubba, what you up to?" And he started calling me Mubba because it's, rhymes.
yeah,
Plus, it's the M for mom.
yeah.
It's like almost like the mom version of Bubba.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, why am I just not choosing that? It's already
Yeah.
been given to me. It was given to me in love. And no one else is going to choose Mubba because it is not a delicate or attractive grandma name. No one's going to want that.
So
But
yours unique. I love it.
I will have it all to myself because Mubba sounds bulky and heavy, but I love it. And I love when my kids call me Mubba, my grandkids call me Mubba. And it's just, I think this next phase, it's about loving freely, deeply, less constraints. I don't have to say no as much, which is so fun to not be like, I'm respectful. I'm not going to go against the wishes of my daughters and their husbands in raising their kids. I'm going to be respectful of that. And when I do want to break the rules, I try to ask, is it okay if she has this ice cream? Or is it okay if they have this lollipop right now or whatever? I try to be respectful. But it is so fun to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you are so much fun. I just love being around you. Okay, very good. Now let's get into it. Tell us, for you, it wasn't about forgetting that you were a person. A lot of women do forget themselves as a mother. And it wasn't about that, but you held on to that through your music. But was there a tension between being fully devoted to your kids and fully devoted to your gift? And how did you make peace with holding both?
I love this question. My answer that's coming to my mind is going to be a little bit of a roundabout. It's not a direct answer to your question, but I do think that there's some things that can apply, and maybe you can help us do that. When I would have the assignment of an album, so my publisher would give me a deadline, usually about a year's time to write enough songs for an album. I would dive in, I would start writing, and then I would get hit, just bombarded with thoughts like, you're not good enough.
Mm.
No one likes your music. What makes you think that you're the kind of person who could write a song that anyone would want to listen to? You don't dress cute. You're not cute. You're everything, anything that could get me sidetracked, derailed, and make me feel bad about myself. Those thoughts hit me every time. And it was almost like I'd forget that it happened and then I'd start writing and boom, it would hit. And I was like, oh, here we go again. What in the world? And I recognized it with the help of the people around me who love me, recognized it as for what it was, which in my opinion was the adversary trying to distract me and stop me from doing something that was important and good that I needed to do. And I remember one time telling my husband that I'm having all these feelings. I just keep thinking you're not good enough. Your songs aren't going to be good this time. And he listened and he listened. And then he goes, when I was done, he goes, huh, well, that's good. And I'm like, wait a second.
Did you
Did
hear
yeah. Were
me?
you listening to what I said? And then he clarified and he goes, oh, well, what I mean by that is whenever you are working on something important, the adversary works on you. And so it is a sign that you're doing the right thing and that you're on the right track. And as women, whether we are mothers, grandmothers, whether we are associated with children in some way or another, it is important for us to recognize when the adversary is trying to stop us from contributing, whether it's thoughts of you're not a good mom, or you're not doing enough, or you'll never be enough, or you're not doing this well. Whatever those thoughts are that would try to get in the way of our career, our pursuits, our hobbies, or our families, that is not from God. God does not speak to us that way. He
Mhm.
does not whisper those things in our ears. He whispers love, encouragement. And so when those things happen, let it be a sign, see it for what it is, and let it be a sign that you're on the right path. And don't let Satan get the best of you. And don't, whatever you do, hop on board with it and add to it with your own thoughts of it. Don't confirm what he's saying. Stop that and stop that train of thought and move on to the positive.
Thank you for sharing that. I think we've talked about how sometimes women, they kind of lose that the muscle of what they want and what they desire when they give everything to their family. And we choose that. A lot of women choose that. But afterwards, as you start to try to think, okay, what do I even want? And as I coach women to help to figure out what do they want? What do I desire? What's my purpose now? Some of them feel like I'm not good enough. I can't do that. I want to do that, but I don't have faith or trust in my abilities. And so to realize that's just part of it, right? And as they're doing that, we were made by a creator to create. And when we create with God, he wants us to be creative. He wants us to contribute. He wants us to use those little breadcrumbs along the way and gather them and then use them to contribute. And then whatever that is, whatever that pursuit is. But realizing that that's part of it, you're going to be feeling those feelings of self-doubt and all that, like you said, and knowing the voice of the guy who wants you to create is going to have love and encouragement and excitement. So I love that.
Oh, beautifully said.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, your music has always seemed tied to your faith, not separate from it, and very inspiring. So, was there ever a moment when that music and motherhood felt like they were pulling against each other instead of working together?
Oh, not that I can remember specifically, but with that isn't to say that it didn't happen. But you're right. What I've always wanted to share in the messages of the music is faith and that God hears us and that he loves us, and let it be a reminder of his presence in our lives. And maybe the reason that it didn't necessarily butt heads with motherhood is because it became more of a tool and a reminder for me. I like listening to my own songs. I like those reminders.
Me too. I
And
love
my
listening to
kids
your
like,
songs.
yeah, thank you. And my kids like listening to those songs. So maybe it became more of an avenue of sharing those truths and reminding ourselves of those truths.
Yeah, you've done that very well. When you couldn't see what was next, what kept you moving anyways?
That's a really good question. Probably a balance between music and other things, because I wouldn't call music a passion. I know that probably sounds odd, but I don't constantly have to be writing. And I don't have to if I'm at a restaurant, I don't need to pull out a napkin and jot down ideas. I work on it when I have an assignment. And so there's lots of layers to the things that I enjoy. And so if if there wasn't another album on the horizon, I was like, okay, well, what else is there? What else am I interested in? What else can I do? What am I feeling drawn to? I'm definitely a person who's constantly checking in with God. What do you want me to do?
Mm.
What, you know, Like, what's the next step? What's the next thing? I love checking in with him. And even if I think I know the right step, I love asking him and confirming, like, is this right? Is this what you had in mind? Is this what you want me to be doing? Because I don't want to be where he doesn't want me. I know that I'll be happiest and I'll be most successful. I'm not talking about monetarily. I'm talking about in the terms of feeling like life is full. I'll be the most successful if I am where he wants me to be.
I love that, co-creating with him.
Yeah.
It just keeps coming back to that. So good.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
Okay, what do you think is still ahead for you, and what part of the story hasn't happened yet?
Oh, I'm at a stage where I feel like there's a lot ahead. And I'm always like creating, thinking, gathering, just what can I do next? I'm never bored. And luckily, I have a husband who supports that. He's probably glad because then I'm not out shopping or something because I'm
Yeah.
always doing something that is just not related to that at all. Like I mentioned, I love doing the Good for the Soul gathering kits. I love gathering women in all types of ways. Right now, I'm doing a lot of songwriting. It was interesting because I took a sabbatical from music about 2 years ago, and I took a whole year off. I finished my commitments, and then I didn't do anything music related, which turned out to be really good because unbeknownst to me, at the time when I made that decision, my oldest daughter was gonna have twins, and that's a
Oh,
lot of work, and I was able to help a lot with that, and my
Mubba was needed.
Mubba was needed. My husband had a bunch of health problems during that time, and I had some health issues during that time. So the sabbatical was needed. But before I took the break, the spirit whispered to me, yes, take the break, but please keep writing. Please keep songwriting. And at the time I said, you got it. I will. And I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't write for that whole year. And about 4 months ago, I was having that feeling of I needed to check in with God to see what he wanted me to do. And he's like, "Well, I kind of already told you I wanted you to be songwriting." And I was like, "Well, that feels kind of scary. I don't know. It feels like a lot of work." And he said, "Well, don't you want the songs that I'm going to send to you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I do. Sorry." Okay.
Yes,
Okay. And
yes.
so since then, back to writing half an hour a day. But this time it's without a deadline. I don't have a purpose of why I'm writing. I don't have an album I'm working towards, but I'm doing it for the joy of it. And when God reveals, I'll be ready. Whatever he wants, I'm honing in on those muscles again. Like you were talking about, we get out of shape in some of those things.
Yeah.
And I'm renewing that muscle, getting it back in shape. So that's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear your new music that you've been writing. It's
Thank
always so
you.
inspiring. Very good. What a joy to be together today. Tell us anything else before we go, and where can listeners find you? And I'm
Well,
excited to find out where they can find your new music too once it does come out, right?
yes, I'll be sure to announce that on Instagram and things like that. But Marianne, I was thinking about our conversation about finding purpose, how to make your best empty nest, what to do when your kids are gone and you need to find purpose. And I was like, oh, I need to pull out the book that I wrote, Discovering Purpose.
Yeah.
I haven't pulled this out in a while, and I started flipping through it. I'm like, this is a phenomenal resource. And it can be found at hilaryweeks.com or on Amazon. It's cheaper on hilaryweeks.com, but it is a beautiful workbook. I just don't know if I can really hold it up and capture the,
Yeah. Those on YouTube will be able to see a little bit of it. Yeah. It
yeah.
is beautiful.
It is filled with exercises you can walk through to discover what your purpose is for this season in life. It's divided into 3 sections. It's prepare. So you're going through exercises that help you to prepare to receive revelation about what you should be doing right now, what you can be doing right now. Then there's discover. What have you always loved? What did you love as a child? It walks you through things that bring that to the surface. And then it is commit. Okay, how are you going to carry that out? Now that you know what your purpose is, what are you going to do? What are the steps? So it's a beautiful book to help people walk through that. And I hope it's something that's helpful for your listeners.
Oh, that's beautiful. We will link that in the show notes so women can find that. Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Do you have any final words you want to say before we leave?
Just that I believe in the goodness of women and we need each other to lean on, to encourage one another. And there's so much good that we can offer the world. So wherever you're at in your journey, trust it, trust that you're right where you're supposed to be, and trust that God will lead you to what that next step is.
That is just so inspiring. And I love that you've been an example of that as you've talked about your music, your family, your career, and you really have been shown us how that is in action. So thank you so much for being here. It's been a joy.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Isn't this just so real? A woman who's created 14 albums to her name still hears "You're Not Good Enough." Doesn't that give you hope for whatever you're trying to create, whatever roadblocks come to you, or thoughts, especially what thoughts come to you? Every time she hears "You're Not Enough," every time she sits at the piano. If there's one thing to hold on to with this whole series, it's this. Hilary said it herself. God doesn't whisper, "You're not enough." He whispers love and encouragement. So the next time that voice shows up telling you that you're too late or you're too old or you're not qualified for this next chapter, you'll know exactly whose voice that isn't. This wraps up how to stop living through your kids and start living your own life. If you've been with me through this whole series, thank you. I hope it's given you a little more courage to build whatever is next for you. And if you need help building that what's next, hop on the Next Chapter Jumpstart Call. It's just you and me, conversation to help you figure that out. Go to marianneiverson.com/call. That's Marianne with an I and an E on the end. I'll also link it in the show notes. Hilary's book, Discovering Purpose, is linked in the show notes as well, if you want a guide to help you figure out what your next chapter can actually look like. I'll see you next week for a brand new episode. Make it a great day. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week. If this felt familiar, you're not alone. I created a short quiz, Who Am I, after the kids leave. It helps you name what actually is going on for you in this season and what you might need next. You'll find the link in the description. And if you want more conversations like this, you could subscribe. I'm here every week.